My parents found out I was making adult films. Now they don't want to talk to me anymore. I sat across from them, trying to hold eye contact, but their gazes were laser-focused on the untouched cups of coffee in front of them. My dad looked pale, like he'd seen a ghost, and my mum. Well, my mom looked downright furious. "So, this is what you've been doing with your life, Lily?" she asked, her voice thin but crackling with restrained anger. I took a deep breath. I'd practiced this conversation in my head 100 times, but now that I was in the middle of it, all of my carefully rehearsed lines vanished. All I had was honesty. "Yes, Mum. I've been in adult films." My dad winced, as though the words themselves caused him pain. He looked away, out the window, his shoulders tense. "Why, Lily?" he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Why would you do something like that?" The anger in my mother's eyes intensified. "We raised you better than this, Lily. We did everything we could to give you opportunities, to support you. And this is how you repay us?" I know this is hard for you to understand," I said, trying to keep my voice calm and steady. "But this isn't about you. It's about me and my choices." My mom clenched her fists on the table. "Choices? You think throwing your dignity away is a choice worth defending? How can you even say that with a straight face?" I closed my eyes, inhaling deeply, trying to gather my thoughts. I knew they wouldn't understand, but I I needed, to try to explain. "Mom, Dad, I know it's hard for you to accept this," I began. "But I enjoy what I do. I'm good at it. And it's given me opportunities I never would have had otherwise. I'm financially independent, I'm secure, and I'm happy." "Happiness?" my dad scoffed, still looking out the window. "If this is what makes you happy, Lily, I don't think I even know who you are anymore." My heart sank. I'd been prepared for anger, maybe even some harsh words, but the disappointment, the genuine hurt in my dad's voice, stabbed deep. I reached out to touch his hand, but he pulled away, his gaze still locked on the trees outside. "Please," I whispered, my voice breaking. Just listen to me. I'm still your daughter. I'm still the same person. This job doesn't change who I am." My mom's face twisted, a blend of hurt and disgust. "Doesn't change who you are?" she repeated, her voice rising. "You used to be our pride, Lily. Now I can't even look at you without feeling ashamed." She turned her head sharply, wiping a tear that had started to trickle down her cheek. I'd never seen my mom cry in front of me, not even once. I felt a hot wave of shame wash over me, mixing with a simmering frustration that made my hands shake. "What did you think I was going to do, Mom?" I asked, my voice growing louder despite myself. "Go to college, get a nice little office job, settle down with a nice guy and have kids." I wanted more than that. I wanted freedom. "And you think this is freedom?" my dad muttered, turning back to face me. "Being paid to?" "Yes, Dad," I interrupted, finally reaching my breaking point. "For me, yes. This was my choice, and I'm proud of it." "Proud?" My mom practically spat the word, her voice dripping with disbelief. "How can you possibly be proud of selling yourself like that? Of letting strangers do those things to you, for the world to see?" "It's not what you think," I replied, struggling to keep my voice steady. "It's not just about the act. There's artistry, there's empowerment, there's so much that goes into it that you're not even willing to understand." "Empowerment?" My dad's voice was filled with disappointment and something else, maybe disgust. "How can you say that when you're letting people use you?" I swallowed hard. "I'm not being used. I'm in control of everything I do. I set my boundaries, I work with people I trust, and I'm part of a community that respects me." "Respects you?" My mum shook her head. "No respectable person would ever." I cut her off, unable to hold back any longer. "You're talking like you even know what goes on. You're basing all of this on stereotypes, on what you think it is, not what it actually is." My mom's face softened, but her eyes remained cold. "Lily, we raised you to respect yourself, to value yourself. You're not doing that. You're throwing yourself away, and we can't bear to watch it." Silence stretched between us, thick and suffocating. I didn't know what else to say. I'd explained myself, defended my choices, but it still wasn't enough. Nothing I said seemed to get through to them. Finally, my dad spoke, his voice low and weary. If this is the life you've chosen, Lily, then I don't know how to. I don't know how to be okay with it. We don't know how to be a part of your life. My throat tightened. I could feel the tears coming, but I forced myself to hold them back. So, what? You're just going to cut me out of your life because you don't agree with my choices? My mom looked down, avoiding my gaze. It's not that simple. We can't just pretend to be okay with this, Lily. We need time. I nodded, my heart sinking lower and lower. Fine. Take all the time you need. But I'm not ashamed of who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for living my life the way I want. I stood up, pushing my chair back. I thought they might say something, anything, to stop me, to offer some kind of hope. But they stayed silent, their eyes downcast, their hands clenched tightly on the table. As I walked out of the house, a wave of emotions washed over me, anger, sadness, a touch of relief. I'd spent years hiding this part of my life from them, terrified of this exact moment. But now that it had happened, now that they knew the truth, I felt strangely free. That night, I sat on my couch in my apartment, staring at the blank screen of my phone. No messages, no missed calls. It was like they'd vanished from my life entirely. I couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. Despite everything, I loved my parents. I wanted them to accept me, to be part of my life, to understand that this wasn't just a phase or a mistake. This was who I was. Hours passed as I sat there, my phone in hand, my finger hovering over my mom's contact. I knew calling again might make things worse, but I couldn't stand the silence. Finally, I pressed call. It rang. And rang. Until her voicemail picked up. I swallowed the lump in my throat and left a message. Mom. It's me. I know this is hard for you. But I miss you. I miss you both so much. My voice cracked. I know you're disappointed. I know you think I'm making a huge mistake. But please, try to understand. I'm still me. I'm still Lily. And I just want you in my life. I hesitated, then whispered, please call me back. I ended the call and set the phone down, trying to hold back the wave of emotions. The next morning, I was in the middle of making coffee when my phone buzzed. My heart leapt as I saw my dad's name flash across the screen. Dad? I answered quickly, my voice trembling. There was a pause on the other end. Then he sighed, Lily. Hi. Hi, Dad, I whispered, waiting, hoping he'd say something, anything, that meant we were moving forward. He cleared his throat. I got your mom's phone after you left that message last night, he began, his voice thick. She listened to it, and, well, we talked about it. And, well, here I am calling. I blinked back tears. Thank you. For calling, I mean. Lily. He hesitated, then took a shaky breath. I don't understand any of this. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I'm still processing it all. I know, I said gently. I get it. I know this isn't what you imagined for me. No, he said quickly. Not at all. It hurts, Lily. Your mother and I, we feel. I don't know, like we failed you somehow. Like we didn't raise you to. He trailed off. I know you're hurt, I replied softly. But this isn't because of anything you did. I've been trying to figure myself out for a long time, and this work, it feels like me. I feel like I can finally be myself. I just can't wrap my head around it, he murmured. You had so much potential, Lily. You could have done anything you wanted. This is what I wanted, I said, my voice soft but firm. This isn't a last resort, or a phase. I didn't end up here because I couldn't do something else. I chose this because I felt free in a way I'd never felt before. There was a pause, and then I heard my mother's voice in the background, slightly muffled, asking, "Who are you talking to?" "Your daughter," he replied, and there was a brief silence before she spoke up, her voice louder now. "Lily. Why?" she demanded, the hurt clear in her tone. "Why would you choose to do something so degrading?" "It's not degrading, Mum. Not to me," I said, trying to stay calm. "For the first time, I feel like I'm in control of my life, my body. I don't feel trapped." "Trapped?" she said, incredulously. "We never tried to trap you. We wanted the best for you." I know you did, I replied, trying to keep the frustration out of my voice. But your idea of the best and mine, they're just different. You wanted me to be safe, to follow a path you thought was respectable. But that path didn't make me happy, Mum. It never did. Do you really think we'd ever be okay with this? She asked, her voice breaking slightly. I took a deep breath. Honestly? No, I don't. But I was hoping. I was hoping you'd try. I was hoping you'd see past the job and just see me. My dad sighed, long and heavy. We see you, Lily. But it's hard to separate you from what you're doing. This isn't how we raised you. But this is who I am, I replied gently. I'm still the same person. I'm still the same daughter who loved playing music with you, who loved going on those family road trips. This doesn't change that. There was a long pause before my mom spoke again, quieter this time. Do you really think this is worth losing your family over, Lily? I closed my eyes, my chest aching. I don't want to lose you. I never wanted that. But I don't want to lose myself, either. I can't go back to pretending to be someone I'm not, just so I don't disappoint you. My dad let out a deep breath. So, what now? He asked, his voice weary. I swallowed. I don't know, I admitted. I want you in my life, but I need you to respect my choices, even if you don't agree with them. Another long silence. Finally, my mom spoke, sounding exhausted and resigned. We don't know how to do that, Lily. But we'll try. For you. My heart lifted a little. That's all I'm asking, I whispered. Just try. There was another pause, and then my dad cleared his throat. Maybe we could come over sometime. Talk more. Get to know this side of you a little. If you'd be okay with that. I smiled, feeling the tears spill over. I'd like that. Really, I would. All right, he said, his voice softer, warmer. We'll see you soon. As I hung up the phone, I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. I knew it would take time for them to understand, if they ever did. But at least, for the first time, they were willing to try. And that was all I needed for now.